So hello guys and welcome back to another Realm Reborn video. Now I just wanted to make this short video because we actually got a little bit of news on server transfers or world transfers, whatever you want to call it. I kinda tend to call it server transfers, I think. Well anyway, on the forums we did actually get a little bit of information. Currently we don't actually have a solid date of when server transfers will actually start. You know, it was September and it seems to have been moved back, but anyway, but it does seem it's going to be around mid-October before server transfers actually begin. Square Enix have come out and said, as an apology for all the server congestions and character creation restrictions that have been put in place, for the first 5 days the world transfer service will actually be free. If you are wanting to transfer worlds, I would highly suggest you really take that up, you know, because I know a lot of people have not been able to be on the same world as their friends and have not been able to play together, so a server transfer for them is, you know, really needed right now. Yoshi then goes on to list a few servers. Now he gives us a list of the really crowded servers. So basically if you're thinking about transferring to one of these worlds, then you could run the risk of login restrictions, because these worlds are the ones that are pretty much bursting at the seams. If you're wanting to transfer to one of these really busy servers, then you're going to have to take that into consideration, that you might, you know, you might not get in all the time. And then he gives you a list of the lower population worlds, and I think these are the worlds or the servers that Square Enix really want you to go to. Apparently these ones are pretty low, even at peak times. So if you're transferring like a big group of people and you're all wanting to kind of meet up in one world, Square Enix are saying these are the worlds you should probably look at, and you'll be able to hopefully avoid some of those login restrictions. Even though there aren't really any cons to transferring worlds, there are some cons you have to think about. Now Square Enix are putting in place a guild cap. Now what that means is you will only be able to transfer a certain amount of gil with your character to your new world. We haven't been given any information on what this cap is, but if you're sitting on, you know, a good couple of million gil, then there's a good chance you could lose it. Not all of it, but you'll lose some of it. So that's something else to kind of think about before you change servers. And I do understand it is in order to prevent, you know, real money traders just taking gil to different servers willy-nilly, you know. I don't really think it'll work, because they'll find ways around it. They always do. I mean, if you're like me and you're constantly getting those gil sellers messaging you, constantly actually telling you, then I just block them. I just put them on my blacklist and I don't hear from them again. So that's my way around it. Not a big deal to me. But yeah, I have noticed that the real money trading is quite bad in the Realm Reborn. But anyway, I'm getting a bit off topic. That's a totally different topic in itself. Now the other con of transferring servers is, depending on how many people apply for server transfer, there could actually be a period of a few days where you can't log into the game. How long that is, I don't know. It's all going to be dependent on how many people apply for server transfer. So if you are thinking of transferring, please just kind of take these into account. You know, I wouldn't really be happy to lose a lot, like some of the gil that I've worked hard for and all that stuff. Now the other thing I wanted to point out is you can transfer to any world, but there is a restriction on legacy players. Now if you're on a legacy server, you cannot transfer to a non-legacy server. That is the only kind of restriction in place. So if you're on I'm not entirely sure if it just means legacy players or the legacy server in itself. So if you're on a legacy server, then I don't think you can transfer to a new world. But this is something Square Enix are going to look into. They're going to keep an eye on the economy of the new worlds, and then I think eventually legacy players will be able to move to new worlds and so on and so forth. But for now, that restriction is still in place. But guys, given all that, what are your thoughts on the world transfer or the server transfer, whatever you'd like to call it? Are you thinking of changing worlds? you know, you join your friends in another one, or are you happy where you are? I'm personally quite happy where I am. But just to let you guys know, we are on the Ragnarok server, and if you would like to join us, you can transfer there if you would like to join us. But thanks for watching just this kind of short update video. I just kind of wanted to get some people's opinions on where they're heading, or are they sticking where they were, and it'll maybe give us an idea of how popular the server transfer is going to be. But guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all in A Realm Reborn. Take care.